Ma'am, you all can see me?
Yes.
Okay.
We
Good
can see.
afternoon, ma'am. My name is Akash Verma and I am from SYBSc Computer Science. And the book on which I am going to give you the review is called as The Secret. And it is written by the Rhonda Byron. The book has many chapters, many stories behind it, and many people joined with the stories. There are 14 teachers who replicate their stories in the book. This book is being the most controversial book from year 2003 to 2006. In this year, this book is going to be written, and 2006 it is published in, I think so, March. It is published, and on 2006 only the one movie was also released on this book, and the movie was also been the most controversial part in the 2006 years. There are 14 teachers who replicate their stories, that how they become from nothing to anything, and how the book helped them, how the topic of the book helped them, not the book, because the book was not written at the time of their successful their achievements. So the book is all about the law of attraction. So people says it is the most powerful law in the universe, but how it is written in the book. So the book written by Rhonda Byron, she says that once I am depressed and my daughter gave me one book and she read that book, and the book has a certain part or a topic which replicate the story of the law of attraction. So she applies the law of attraction in her life, and her life changes like anything from nothing to anything. So just for the change of the line, so just because of the one line, her life changed. So she wanted that the change that she adapted, the people surrounded will get from her. So it is a self-help book by Rhonda Byron, published in 2006, and around 13 million plus copies has been sold out, and also it has been translated more than 50 languages. So the book says about the law of attraction. So why do people says the law of attraction is most powerful law in the universe? Because when we have law of relativity, law of motion, and many others law, which has been published by many scientists and many philosophers, but the law of attraction is a law which has been used by each and every scientist in the world right now. Even Isaac Newton has said about this. Albert Einstein has said. Leonardo da Vinci, the artist, had used the law of attraction in his painting just to show. So how we can use it and how we can adapt it, this is what it has been written in the book. So there are three steps. First is to we have to ask. Second one we have to believe, and third one is we have to react. Okay. So the first thing that they say is ask. Ask the universe what you want. Ask in a positive manner. Why do people say that think positive, the life will being be will positive, and that will bring positivity? How? Because when we ask our universe now that we want this thing in 5 years, in 10 years, in 6 years, or I want a Porsche in next 6 years. So how we will ask? I want a Porsche in next 6 years. This is how we will pray. This is how we pray, by joining our hands, and then we ask. But what people does is that people ask in a negative manner. If you want to be something like that, we will think like that. Okay, I want to be like that. But what people do, what others do is like, I don't want to be like that person, and that is what universe gets. Universe get that he don't want to be like that, then he will give you that only. So you have to think like what you want and what you want to achieve. Think positively in each and every factor, and ask also in that factor only, in that manner only, that I want to be this thing, I want to achieve this thing. So this is how you have to ask. Second thing, when it's come to that, you to believe. How will you believe? You have to believe like, if I want a Porsche, I am gonna get it. I am gonna hustle. I am gonna do this thing just to get it. Okay, so this is how you will believe what you have asked for, and then only the universe will give you. And the last thing is reaction. It is like a reflection. Like when you will get, how will you react? When you will get a Porsche, how will you drive? Where will you go? What you will gonna do with the Porsche? Where will you will go with the Porsche? How will you gonna take care of it? So the thing is that you have to show in your action that I have achieved it. That is reaction part. That is the third part. Okay. So nothing can be achieved without the action. मतलब अगर आपने सोच लिया, then you will gonna get it. It is not like that. You have to do the actions, but the thing the law of attraction does is it will give you the opportunity to create what you wanted, to manifest what you wanted. We call manifest. The word law of attraction work as a manifestation. We can manifest the thing what we want. We can
1 minute,
manifest people. Yes,
six
ma'am.
minutes over. You can wind up in 1 minute.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, ma'am. So this is how in three steps the law of attraction works. But the main thing is the line one which I liked more about it is your mind have the frequency which it passes to the universe, and the same frequency comes to you. Whatever you think, your mind is most powerful magnet in your body. So this is really actually happens, and many philosopher has says whatever you think now it comes initially into your life. So that is all I wanted to say, that law of attraction actually works according to me. I don't know about the controversial part of it, but I should probably recommend this book because it has changed more than 1,000 people's of life. And I think each and every scientist has used this in their returns, in their literature, in their art, everything. So I will probably recommend this book, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Akash.
Thank you
There are,
very much, ma'am.
yeah, I'll ask you a few questions. You said controversial. Now, I'm not. What is that controversial part of it?
In year 2003, the
Mm-hmm.
book was started to writing by Rhonda Byrne.
Mm-hmm.
As that the book title was released, The Secret, people were more excited that what is it all about. Then many people come with the law of attraction. It is the topic is all about the law of attraction. Main topic is, and it is been written on this topic. So many people were saying that this is not actually happen in real life. Whatever we think, we can't manifest that thing in our life.
So, do you
So there
believe?
are there are many people who are saying no, and there are some people who are saying yes, and this is how it becomes more controversial in that year.
Do you believe that? Do you practice that?
Yeah, I probably practice that, and I am actually started improvising the thing each and every day as I read that book from last month, I think so I read, and I am actually manifesting that book, and actually it quite work, but I can't say I
You
can't
about
like
this competition? What did you visualize?
about this competition. I have visualized that I will come in at least top three, and I am quite sure, but I don't know. It's up to the competitors. There are many more.
See, so you're not visualizing properly. There is an element of
Yeah,
doubt.
that is why the second step is most important step. Now that is belief. That you have to visualize, and then you have to believe in whatever you said, whatever you manifested, whatever you asked in the universe. So
That
this is how it
Gayatri,
works.
you want to ask something?
No, I think, yeah. I do want to ask one. So when you said, Akash ki madam ne pucha that what did you visualize? So you visualized it, but you don't believe it. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
because somewhere else,
So what are
I
some
know
of the
there are.
challenges? क्यों ये किसी को काम नहीं करेगा? Why doesn't it work for some?
Why? Because there are lack of belief, there are lack of action. There is one more story. If you give me just 2 minutes of chance, there is one lady who wants a husband with many characters, and she have written all the characters and everything, and she had asked the universe also that I wanted this type of husband, but she has given so many years, but she never got any like any person who has this quality. Once she has started believing, and the third part that is received now, she think like यार मैंने ऐसे क्या नहीं किया that I didn't even get it. So the third part is receive. When you will receive, how will you react? So she had seen that her wardrobe is full of her clothes. There is no place for her husband's clothes. So she had changed the wardrobe place. She had changed the garage place. She had created one more car space in her garage. So in the next month only, she had gotten the man with same quality, whatever he wanted in her husband. So this is how it works. First,
Okay.
you have to ask. She had asked very well. She didn't believe. Second thing, and the third thing, she didn't. She didn't received. She didn't respond that how will I get and then how will I respond?
Okay. So these are the
Okay.
roadblocks. Fine, fine.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes, ma'am.
you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Akash,
ma'am.
and hope that we all will visualize Corona will go away with the proper
Yeah,
visualization. What we'll
No,
do
along
afterwards.
along with it, we have to also have corona appropriate behavior. Action element हम भूल जाते हैं.
Yeah, that we are.
yeah.
Okay, so next is Bhavisha.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bhavisha Bhurani.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so put on your video and
Ma'am, am I visible?
Not yet. Not yet. हाँ, we are visible.
yeah,
You
now
may
we are
need.
visible.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Myself, Bhavisha Burani from TY Bass, and I have reviewed book Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, a fable of fulfilling your dreams and achieving your destiny. It is written by Robin Sharma. He is a Canadian writer and a motivational speaker, and book has already sold 15 million copies over worldwide. So, talking about the book is a self-help book of 196 pages, and each page has a lesson to learn, and it has overall 19 chapters. And starting off with chapter 1, how the story revolves, there are two main characters, Julian and his dear friend John. And the most important character that comes up in the middle of the story is Sage of Savannah, Yogi Raman, who is actually the main key point of the story. So now the story starts like Julian, he is a lawyer. At the middle of the court of doing his practice, he faint and he was victim with an heart attack. So John was his subordinator. John was his friend as well as his subordinator. So after the heart attack, there was a turning point of his life. Actually, Julian was very stressful person day to night. Day to night, he used to work. He used to continuously work without having any family life, without having any social life. What he was only practicing was work. For him, work was everything. So he used to look, actually, his age was only 40 years, but he used to look like 70-year-old man with all the wrinkled face, all tense. There was nothing as positive in his life. So after that heart attack, what actually he thought was it was a milestone for him and turning point of life, because after heart attack he realized this is not actually the life he wanted to live, because 9 to 5 he was doing job, he was serving his clients, not living his social life, not giving the time to his family. So he decided this is not actually what I wanted to live. So after that heart attack, he thought of giving all of his property, all of his work and his practice. And he thought, and at the age of 40, he thought of discovering his own life, which is actually really late. But the book says there is no age of discovering your passion, your what actually you want to do in your life and motive of your life. It is never too late. The book actually says it. At the age of 40, he went up into the hills of Himalayas. Earlier, he was living in foreign, but he thought of coming to India, discovering the virtues and vices of India. The as we say, India is a culture of virtues, vices. So he came to India up in the hills of Himalayas. He met Yogi Raman. Yogi Raman was a person who actually transformed his life. So earlier Yogi Raman was also the same as Julian was, but then Yogi Raman described his story to Julian and said, it actually syncs with me. I was same as you, but now I have found the true purpose of my life. After achieving the true purpose, he slowly and gradually started transforming Julian into the person he wanted to become. So the story went off like Julian came into up into Himalayas. He gave up all of his money, practice, and he started living a very pleasant and peaceful life. He then came to know this was the true meaning of his life, and I personally believe that at this age, we being a teenager, we get so for us materiality, for us success comes materiality. Materiality means in terms of money, having good luxurious life, polished life. But what actually means is having good quality time with family, having a passion in your life, serving society should be the aim of the people we are living. Should be the aim of we teenagers. So reading book in this age at the age of 20 to 30s, I believe that it would be turning point for many of us. Not only me, it was turning point for me, but it would be turning point for others as well. Now the story goes like after living for 2 to 3 months up in the hills of Himalayas, he learned many things. He learned many things such as 21-day practice. He learned that how you can practice, how you can make a habit in 21 days. By practicing a thing in for 21 days, you actually make a habit, and for 90 days, it becomes your day-to-day routine. You come along with it. And then he learned the power of discipline, how you have to be disciplined. It was a practice was given as rose was standing, and you have to look after a rose for about 10 to 15 minutes and without having no thoughts in your mind, which is actually great because after a hostile day in our life, if we spend 10 minutes with ourselves, that would be great for self discovery, I believe. And even the book says so. And then he learned that we should not be the prisoner of our past, instead we should be an architect of our future. Now I totally resonate with this because as we students we get failures many a times, and then we get upset over those failures and we don't focus on what opportunities we have to after overcoming that failure. We don't focus on that opportunities, instead we focus and keep sorrowing on that failure. So with this quote I totally have transformed my way of thinking that after every failure there is big opportunity coming up. Then
One
next,
minute. 6 minutes over. You try to wind up in a minute.
okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. Then it has 10 ways of radiant living. 10 ways of radiant living, in that you have to focus on your personality, not on your physical personality, but what the self you want to be, who you want to be. And you should be having a passion and purpose in your life. What should be the purpose? Even if in the age of 70s, people don't have a purpose in their life. So I believe if we teenagers, we students are reading the book in the age of 20, we are definitely going to have a good purpose in our life, and we would be not running behind the things which are not important to us. We would be going on the things and putting our energy into the things which are really going to matter us in the long run. And then coming forward into the story, Julian met John after 3 years, and he was so radiant, so charming in nature. Once he was an old looking man, and now he has transformed into a charming person. So the John was totally amazed by his transformation, and Julian said, John, whatever I have learned in this 2 3 months, I want you to listen all these things and pass on to the people whosoever are in the need. So the journey remains the same, and you try to help to the people who are actually in the need of all such things. We go to foreign. We I don't. I'm not blaming any culture, but we go to foreign culture for seeking peace. For us today, for us we generation, we have friends, family, going outside for having a change of mind, going to fancy restaurants, buying branded clothes. But this is not all which is required. What is required is having a good quality time with your family, enjoying nature, having believe in yourself, discovering yourself, what you actually want to be. Is
I think, Bhavisha, you can
yes,
stop
ma'am.
it here.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it is
thank you.
already taken 7 minutes. So is this the only spiritual book you read? Book on spirituality?
No, ma'am. Actually, it is not on basically on spirituality. It also deals with other aspects like many an aspects on how to overcome failures, how to be positive, how actually mind works, how to have a control on your thoughts.
So at this age, when everybody is saying you push yourself, push the ladder, all those things, na, how come you are attracted? Or maybe at this age you will be reading romantic books or anything, na, books on. So how come you are attracted to this?
Ma'am, I personally went off for the book which was a self-help book, and at this age I believe self-help book works a lot, and discovering ourselves in this age actually is the most important thing. It is not basically on spirituality, but many other aspects attracted me a lot on how to approach, how to be a good personality, how to be attractive from inner side of yours.
You read any other book of Robin Sharma?
No, ma'am, not yet. But I am going to read 5 a.m. Club very soon.
Gayatri, Riddhi also has joined. Na? You can ask questions.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe for the next one when I hear everything. Yeah.
Gayatri, Shilpa.
Uh, yes, ma'am, I would like to ask a question. So, Bhavisha, in this book, they have explained some virtues, right? So, is these virtues are those any of them helpful to in one's life? All the
Ma'am,
virtues that they have explained.
yes, ma'am, there are not just one, there are many, because how they say how you have to be positive approach in our life. We face many failures in our life, and how to overcome that failure in a positive approach, because after every failure there is success. We only think of we have to be an optimistic approach over anything we face in our life. So there is one, and there is other is a discipline, because in this at this age we have to be very disciplined and punctual about things and about our goal. Getting up early in the morning is a thing I have learned from this book, and how you have to how you have to put the energy into things which are essential for you, and not running behind the things which are totally not worthy for you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bhavisha.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I think Bhavisha, thank you. It was good. And next we'll go to Ismita. Ismita Mishra.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just settle somewhere that I can turn on my camera. Just a minute, ma'am. Sorry for that. Yeah, am I visible?
Yes, yes. But focus, fix it. Yeah.
Visible now. Uh, is it okay now?
It's okay. You start.
Okay, one second, now just.
Ismita, if you're not ready, I'll call the next one. You're ready,
Ma'am,
no?
now is it okay? Yeah,
Yeah,
I am
it's
ready.
okay. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. So, ma'am, I have to start directly. I'm sorry, I don't know the instructions. I joined a little late.
Yeah, start directly. You'll be having
Okay,
6 minutes.
so,
If you finish
okay.
by that time, it is good. Then they will be asking questions. So your video should be on all the time. And whatever you are prepared, you say. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So, hello everyone. I hope you all are doing good, and it's okay if you all are not. And the book that I will
One second,
review.
Ismita, introduce yourself. You're which class and
Okay. uh, So, I am Smita Mishra, and I am from first year BA. And the book that I am reviewing is named Life's Amazing Secret, which is written by Gaur Gopal Dasji. And the reason why I recommend this book is because this is the first book I completed. I had this tendency to um, leave a book in a halfway, like not a single book motivated me to complete it, but this one particular book, like after each and every story, it made me feel like it hooked me up and made me feel like I need to continue, and I need to learn what next the author is trying to teach me. So in this book, Gaur Gopal Das ji is comparing our life with four wheels of car, where one wheel is of relationship, another one is personal life, and then it's another one is work life, and the fourth one is social contribution. So the very first wheel of which is of personal life, uh, I really like the way author started with personal life, because this is the very moment where a person connect to the book, and start building with a feeling that this is the book which is precisely written for me. And the lesson that I learned in the first from the section of first wheel is that how to practice gratitude, how to stay humble, also how to press pause button and look back to the things that for which I am grateful, and I literally started doing this, and after doing this I felt like not only I felt like my mom also started complimenting me for the behavior that now which is now I because, because now I value my things, and I also value the food I am getting. Also, I'm trying to value things that are easily available to me. So this is what precisely the first wheel is trying to teach us, and the second wheel, that is of our relationship. Here, how to say compassionate, how to build a relationship with someone, how to correct someone cautiously. Like when you are pointing out some mistakes, make sure that you don't just point out mistakes. Just let them know where they went wrong, but also tell them now what good they did. And also in the relationship, how forgiving someone is so important. Like when someone commits a mistake, or uh, uh, just try to segregate or make a difference between a person and the mistake of this person, and then it will help you to forgive someone. And the next way is of work life, where Gaur Gopal Das ji talked about healthy competition and unhealthy competition, which is the another thing that I'm not working right now, so I cannot relate to it properly, but it helped me to get some insight, and it motivated me uh, to maintain the healthy relationship whenever I go out and work. And the last one, the last wheel talks about social contribution. So how important it is to how important social service is. The stories that are written in this book is so motivational, and you yourself, after doing one, at least one social service, you yourself feel the happiness of doing it. I did one. It is not something huge that I did for the society, but I contributed my clothes that were in good condition, but I was not just using them. So I distributed it to someone who is in need. Basically, I gave them to this NGO called Jayashree Foundation, and they told me that they distributed it to needful people, and now like they are happy, and it made me feel so happy that uh, like uh, I helped someone, and this made me feel like just because of my one good thing, someone is happy. This motivates me to do further such activities. And here where I feel like God Gopal Dasi successfully made me
You can
perform
just
this
wind up in
activity.
1 minute. Okay. Whatever you want to say,
Okay.
finish in a
Yeah.
minute.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, so I highly recommend this book to each and everyone, because it is a self help book, and the reason why I'm recommending this book is because I have completed it, and I'm sure that I can complete it and learn from it. Anyone else can also do the same. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So Smita, do you listen to his YouTube? Smita, you have to
Yeah,
questions. Yeah.
uh,
You listen to his
yeah,
YouTube. This also, or only you read his book?
yeah. I He's a motivational speaker too, so I have listened to his YouTube videos also.
So whatever you said, what attracted you to the book? Na, this is what your parents, your teachers, they keep on telling you all the time. So what is it precisely? Na, you written that which is different from what we keep on telling you all the time. Your teachers, your parents, they keep on telling the same thing. Na, show gratitude, help others, be disciplined. So what is so new about what he has written?
The I said now that I haven't worked somewhere else, but this book is giving me some insights of the working place, so which I haven't ever experienced. So this is the one thing which uh, which is really helpful for me. And the other thing is, um, uh, I it motivated me to. I wasn't the same like everyone says this, but the impact that this book made on me is something really different. So that's the
Okay.
reason why I recommend it over and
Yeah.
over.
Gayatri. Re-
Yeah. Which other books in this area have you read? Meaning something which is about self-help,
Yeah,
personal transformation.
this is the only book that I completed, and this is the only book which is about self help.
Riddhi.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had a question that you said they were stories about other people's lives and that motivated you, right? So usually when we
Yes.
read stories, of course there will be a moral of the story and all. Then we don't get motivated. So I mean, how did it work for you? Did you make a conscious effort to learn from the story and apply it in your life, or like in general, when you read a story, you don't try to apply it, right, too much in your life?
Okay, so most of the stories that are written here are the real one, and so it isn't fictional where we cannot really relate. And most of the stories here are so relatable that I related to it, and also I felt like this is the lesson that I really needed. And I could reveal the story, but don't want to do that because I want everyone else who is here to go out and read this book, and I'm sure it is helpful.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Deepa, you want to ask something?
Yes, ma'am. So, Ishmita, I would like to ask that, how did this book brought a positive impact in your life?
Yes, ma'am. So as I said, I started uh, valuing things that I tend to overlook, like my very basic things like food, like our teachers. Uh, we just simply ignore the efforts that are made by them, because things those are the things that are easily available to us, and until and unless they are gone, we don't value, we don't understand its value. So again, I would say this book is highly impactful because it impacted me, and the way it is written, uh, it made me feel that I really need to learn the next lessons so that it will help me grow, uh, uh, s- uh, grow morally. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Ishmita,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Smita. We'll call Naushin. Actually, you are the second person to come, I think. Naushin Sheikh.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Am I visible?
Yes.
You're visible.
Hello, everyone. I am Noshin Sheikh from FYBAFB. The book which I have chosen to review is The Three Mistakes of My Life, which was written by the famous Indian author Chetan Bhagat, and it was published in the year 2008 by Rupa Publications. The story is about three friends and it is based in the city of Ahmedabad. Actually, Govind Patel is a young Gujarati boy whose dream was to become a great businessman. So, with the help of his best friend Ishan and Omi, he set up a sports shop. But due to ups and downs, he faced a lot of difficulties. But later, there was a Gujarat earthquake where he lost his investment, which he invested into a city shop mall. This was the first time when Govind in his life, when Govind Patel cried because his investment, his decision went wrong. uh, Due to this, he lost his confidence and faith. And from this, I came to learn that this was the first mistake. And from this mistake, I learned that failures are our parts of life. From the failures only, we will be able to walk on the path of success. If we face failure, then we will become a more better person in our life. The second mistake, which is mentioned in the story, is about morality, which deals with morality. Govind Patel uses to take private tuitions. So he used to take tuition of his best friend's sister Vidya. And he also don't know from private tuitions when their friendship progresses into love and all, where he where he came very close to his sister, and it not deals with morality. So this was the second mistake. And the third mistake was, Omi is from a priest family, but he was never interested in becoming a priest. He was Govind Patel's best friend. Bittu Mama was Omi's mama, and he lost his son Dheeraj during a Godra attack. And some part of the stories are real, but although story is fictional, like we came to know about Gujarat earthquake and Godra attack and all. So when I learned this, I came to know about the past also, what happened during the Gujarat earthquake, that Godra attack. Then the third mistake is about when Bittu Mama wanted to take revenge. He came from actually he wanted to take revenge from Ali, which was Ishan's student. Ali is a young boy who, due to superflex actions, able to do mental calculations, due to which he was able to hit sixes at every balls. So a split second of delay turned into a massive problem, and it hurt Ali's wrist. This was a mistake done by Govind, and this taught me the value of time, because a split second of delay can turn into a massive problem. We should be punctual in our life. We should do everything on time. The thing which I liked the most in this novel was when Govind Patel scored centum in his mathematics subject. The news spread so rapidly during his across his polls, and from fan they graduated to coolers. From chairs they went to sofa. This was so positive change for me. So I like the most. There will be times when our dreams will be crashed into pieces by unexpected events, but with the help of the people around us, we can focus ourselves, bring back to the track, and rebuild ourselves. Their friendship, the Govind and Ishan's friendship was ruined due to that morality things. But Govind's mother told that the people who are very close to us will hurt us even more than anyone else. But when we forgive each other, we will be able to do many more things which we left out. So uh, I would like to recommend this book, as it is a mixture of all those things: love, friendship, business, cricket, humor, etc. And it really helped me a lot. When I read the novel's name, Mistakes, I actually got eager to know what were those mistakes, because from my childhood only, I learned that mistakes makes us a better person. And thank you for giving me this opportunity, because from this only I have learned a lot of things. It was very fun and interesting for reviewing a book. I never review a book, but from this competition I started to learn some new things. Thank you.
So Naushin, very nice, honest this about book review. And what I'm asking you, have you read Chetan Bhagat's other books?
No, ma'am, I just started.
Achha,
This
this is
was
the
the
first book you have taken.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then I can't ask you the question how you chose this book out of all the books.
Because when I read the title Mistakes, I actually wanted to know what are those mistakes and how to come up in life with those mistakes and how to face those mistakes.
You liked his writing?
Yeah, I liked the way he present the things. It really make me like I'm in the real world. I'm facing those things.
Have you read any other book? Not his.
No, ma'am, not till now.
No. So this is the only book you have read so far.
Yes, ma'am. I'm very much encouraged from this competition. I'm now very much eager to learn so many new things. This helped me to increase my vocabulary. Actually, my English is not so well, so this book helped me to increase my knowledge as well.
Riddhi, is there?
Sorry, ma'am.
No,
Yeah.
I'm asking Riddhi, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Nausheen, your English is very good. I don't think it's bad at all. I don't know why you think like that.
Yeah.
Really nice. Uh, there is a movie based on this book. Have you seen that movie?
No, ma'am, I have not seen that movie, but I know that movie is Kai Po Che.
Ha. Okay. So you haven't seen the movie, but you have read this book. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Shilpa?
really-
Yeah. Yeah. Carry on, Riddhi. Riddhi.
No, I really don't have any question. Yeah.
It's Shilpa.
Yeah, actually, my question was also based regarding the movie only, but Naushin, you spoke really very well, and I would recommend you to watch the movie as well. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You read Chetan Bhagat's other books and then you tell how you rate this or how you rate him. Read other books also, Chetan Bhagat's and other books also, not only his. Then we may ask you some questions afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. So we have Kirti Changlani.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Am I visible, ma'am?
We can see.
Okay, ma'am. So good afternoon, ma'am and everyone. So I'm Kirti Changlani. I'm from the TYBMM Journalism Department. And today I'm here to present the book Veronica Decides to Die by author Paulo Coelho. So Paulo Coelho is an author originally based out of Brazil, and his most popular book is The Alchemist, which has sold more than 60 million of copies. And he's popular between readers for writing stories on the genre of life inspiration. And I've chosen the book Veronica Decides to Die. So the genre of this book is philosophy. So about the book, in this book, there's a girl named Veronica who has everything: a stable job, good relationships in life, and everything else a normal human can aspire to have. So, but she still feels incomplete. She feels like there's something missing, and out of a blue, she decides that she wants to die. So she ends up overdosing on sleeping pills, and just as the effect is yet to start after she has overdosed, she ends up reading a magazine in which it is written, "Where is Slovakia?" So, for context, Veronica was from Slovakia, and it's a small country based in Europe. So she feels very upset to read such kind of a statement, and she decides that she would write to authorities, describing in her mail that it was because of such kind of a statement, this political statement, that she wants to take her life, and so she does it, and but she does not die. When she wakes up, she finds herself in a mental asylum, surrounded by more patients, and she is told that because she took those many sleeping pills, her heart is now damaged and she has only a handful of days to live. And also, she is declared mentally ill by people around her. So, what follows is when she interacts with people around her who had different kind of mental illnesses, she ends up discovering herself. What follows is a rediscovery of that person, Veronica, in physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and all other aspects in which a person generally experiences life. So, while she wanted to die, what happens in this book is she ends up learning to live. That is the summary of this book. What I like the most in this book is its poetic writing style. and each sentence will give you something to think upon. Each sentence will teach you something. Also, the interesting aspect of this book is the book was written in, I think, late 1990s, the year 1998. So, and the book is written on the aspect of mental illness. So, for a book to be written on this mental health topic, that too in such times, is quite a commendable thing, and we need to applaud the author for that. And I would recommend this book to those people who are interested in knowing more about either philosophy of life or want to know more about psychological disorders or mental illnesses, not in a very medical or technical format, but rather through a form of a story in which a person could generally connect to it. And also to those people who and often question their life, the meaning of their life. So this book would be quite an inspiration for them. So yeah, that was it for this book.
Yeah, thank you, Kirti. Have you read this book completely?
Yes, ma'am, I've read this book.
How many times you have read this book?
I've read this book 2 times, and yet I feel like there were so many points which I missed, not from the story perspective, but the philosophical aspect of it, because I'm yet of quite a young age, and for me to understand those deep secrets of life and all of those things.
Age
So,
doesn't
yeah.
make one wiser. Or if you understand now, you understand anytime.
Okay.
So why that question, no? Slovakia? Why that disturbed her? The author, does he explain? When she reads, na, that
There
very
wasn't.
Slovakia, why that question disturbs her? And
She was already taking her life, and she thought this would give her somewhat a reason uh, to aid to it. And whereas Slovakia, this thing was completely out of a political aspect, and there wasn't much explanation given on this, however. So yeah.
that connection, na, between her life and that question, how does it disturb her more? Does he
because
say
she
anything?
was because she was from Slovakia herself. It's her country of origin, and to read something like that from the country she is citizen of, so this thing disturbed her, and she just added this thing to her suicide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to ask? Uh,
Yes, Kirti.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah,
Hello.
Kirti, I would like to ask you that what is the author trying to give out a message to this book to the audience? What is that one message that the author is trying to give out?
So there isn't one specific message. There are multiple messages. Um, so through this book, we do not have to see this book as a manual to life, but rather as a reflection of life. Like there are so many struggles in life. In this book specifically, as the Veronica was in the mental asylum, she sees people who are mentally disturbed, mentally ill, and yet they are not aware of it. They are smiling, laughing, whereas we normal people, we have just one small problem and we end up making a fuss out of it. So it doesn't actually convey a message in a very direct manner, but in a very subtle, indirect manner. It's for us to understand. We have to read between the lines. And if I have to convey one sentence which would summarize the message of this book, it would be from the blurb. We have to take this book as a moving and uplifting song to life. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Kirti. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, yeah, I'm Gayatri. I just want to ask. So, when you're saying that the philosophy is so deep, would you say that this book can be read by anyone, or you need a particular kind of thinking and approach of questioning for you to understand? मतलब कोई भी lay person, अभी average college student, if you say they just pick it up, do you think they will get these messages, or it is written for a particular public?
So, ma'am, if a person finds themselves questioning such kind of things, and it could be any person of any age, but that person has to be first they have to be an avid reader, and second they have to first they might have gone through such kind of experiences, and if yes, then they can pick this book, and it would somewhat provide them a solution. Else, I would say that this book has an older audience generally.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So
I think I missed Kirti 1 second now.
Yeah.
I missed the question. But have you read any of the author's other books?
Yes, I have four other books by Paulo Coelho. Yeah.
very good.
Okay. But sometimes his books have this metaphysical kind of angle to them, no? So does this Veronica wala book have that kind of angle, or is this therefore more readable for everybody else who may not even?
No. This doesn't have a metaphysical or a magical realism type angle. This can be read by anyone, and it has a real life setting. As it's set in a mental asylum, there isn't much which is metaphysical aspect in this.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Kirti. We'll have Sakshi Avadut.
Yes. Ma'am, am I visible?
Yes, we can see. Only thing light.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll just. Ma'am, now? Okay. Ma'am, can I start?
Yeah, you can start.
Good evening, everyone present here. My name is Sakshi Avadut. I'm from TY BCom A Division, and my book is APJ Abdul Kalam's autobiography, Wings of Fire with Arun Tiwari. So, APJ Abdul Kalam's full form is Abdul Fakir Jalaluddin Abdul Kalam. So, at the time of we had GK in our 11th and 10th standard. So, there was a part in GK where we used to review all the authors and then awards. So the highest civilian award when APJ Abdul Kalam received in 1997, that was a part, and from that I wanted to read this book. So this book is divided into four parts, which is the story of APJ Abdul Kalam's how he was from schooling to his completion of life till the president of India. So, in the first part, which is the orientation, which is from 1931 to 1963, it was a journey from childhood in Rameshwaram. Then, initially, APJ Abdul Kalam was doing his BSc, and then he decided, ki, oh no, I'm in the wrong field. I need to do something else. And he started dreaming for becoming an aeronautical engineer from MIT. And at the time of admission, he was from a middle class family, so it was a difficult time for them. Their parents could not afford it. So, a heartfelt story that his sister offered that, okay, I'll help you for that. And she took loan against her gold bangles and chain. This also shows how deep the life is detailed, how Arun Tiwari and APJ Abdul Kalam used to sit till 12 o'clock at night, till the morning they used to discuss, and they have written this book. So in the second part, where it was the creation in 1963 to 1918, he gave a very good career advancement from MIT College to HAL, which is Hindustan Aeronautical Limited, and they started. Earlier, he was in satellite division, and he used to look after the satellites of India. Then how they founded ISRO in propitiation period. That was the third part of the book in 1963 to 1981, then 1981 to 1991. So how with Professor Sarabhai, they started ISRO, and how they had the dream of self-reliance, that India should be reliant on ourselves. We should be independent and we don't need anyone's help to develop our own defense and missiles and also our satellites. So there's an interesting story that how in Sriharikota, they had this reason for why they had a satellite launcher in Sriharikota. So it is near to the equator line, and so therefore they asked a church. So it was very fascinating to me that how they convinced Dr. Professor Sarabhai and Dr. Abdul Kalam went there and said that we need this church for our research. And the church was so friendly that they said, okay, fine, we'll do this. So So there are many interesting stories of Dr. Abdul Kalam's life given in this book. And the fourth part was completion, where he was retiring and there was a final launching of Prithvi. It's a very interesting book, and most of the times you will not get everything in your life. You will have life of failure and you will also have success, right? So you need to accept your destiny and go ahead with your life. And also forgetting this failure as it was initial and essential for you to lead to your destiny. I believe that every detailing in the book is very beautifully given. After every interesting part or important part of his life, Dr. Abdul Kalam has given a beautiful quote or poem which is so relatable, and sometimes it really touches our heart how it was difficult in those days and yet we overcome all the problems. And also their mission for self-reliance, which the defense government really helped at that time. Honestly, it's not easy to be someone so important for the nation. He used to work a lot. And there are a lot of things that we could learn from individual people. While developing the character, he also gave and detailed information about every person. Like Professor Sarabhai, when SLV-3 launch failed first time, Professor Sarabhai said, "Don't be disheartened. You will get over it, and you will." They again, he used to give chance to them to make your things better and get it done. So from Professor Sarabhai, we learned that management skills are really important being in any profession. And he told them that, okay, fine, we'll again try it. So it is a part of us that the leaders need to motivate. And same APJ Abdul Kalam used to do that in future. He has given everything in his book, and it is difficult to miss anything, but I think I have missed a lot of things in that. I will recommend all my friends to read the book because it's really interesting and a thrilling journey. Like how it was different in those days and easier nowadays. You can compare. And if you are interested, if you are in engineering stream or you know understand aerodynamics, it is very interesting book. Thank you.
Yes, Sakshi. You are a commerce student, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a book on a person of physics or engineering, reading about him and knowing the terminology and all. So, how did it?
Actually, my dad helped me a lot. He's an engineer and he inspired me to take this book up. It's okay. Like, it doesn't matter if you know about it. Sometimes it's more than that. You need to know about the emotions, how we can overcome our life situations. And my dad is an avid reader, so I asked him and he helped me a lot with it.
Yes, anyone?
No, I have no questions.
How will you recommend comparing to any other biography or anything, na? So, in what way you will say it is different and you will recommend this book to your friends?
This book is gives an insight of satellite and missile launching. If someone is interested in knowing how our ISRO or NASA works, and they are interested in knowing how the satellites from the beginning to end, how it is launched, and what things go inside, so that person will really enjoy this book.
Not his life or his dedication.
Yeah, even that history aspect is really beautifully portrayed.
Yeah, anyone else?
Yes. Hi, Sakshi.
Hello.
So you said that there are many poems which are, very much inspirational and all. So do you recall any poem or any quote on Dr. Abdul Kalam which motivates you the most?
Mm, okay, ma'am. Ma'am, there is a quote which I said just now: accept your destiny, go ahead with your life, forgetting this failure as it was essential for you to lead to your destiny. This is
Okay.
uh, APJ Abdul.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So, can I call the next? Yeah, Sakshi, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Riddhi, can I call the next participant?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, Sanjana Pandey.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Sanjana Pandey. I am from SY BAF B.
Today I'm going to give a book review on the book The Kite Runner. So Khalid Hosseini is the author of the book. He was born in Kabul, Afghanistan. He's an Afghan American author. The Kite Runner was his debut novel and was published in the year 2003. It is a fiction novel. The two internationally best-selling books written by Khalid Hosseini are The Kite Runner and The Thousand Splendid Suns. So moving towards the book review of this book, the story of this book revolves around a boy named Amir. So Amir is a boy who used to live in Wazir Akbar Khan district, a neighborhood to Nadan Kabul. He came from a very privileged background. He had almost everything. He used to live in a big house. His father was a very rich person in the district. He had almost everything. But only thing as a child he always craved for was the love and affection from his father, the only family he had. And on the contrary, there was a boy named Hassan who was the son of the servant who used to live in, who was the son of the servant who used to work in Amir's house. Keeping the social status aside, both Amir and Hassan shared a great bond. Uh, they were friends from childhood. They were more like a brother to each other. Hassan was a very loyal friend to Amir. He treated Amir as a brother. He used to do things that he used to do everything that Amir told. He was a very loyal friend. And on the contrary, Amir was a very self-centered person. He supported Amir, but not in that way. One day, Amir decided to participate in a kite flying competition held in Afghanistan. He wanted to prove his father that he was capable of doing things. He was not just a kid who liked to write and read books. So he decided to participate in a kite flying competition. He practiced for that, and on that day of competition, uh, Amir won the prize. Everything was going by what he thought. His father was happy. Everything was going by his way. After some time, Amir didn't find Hassan around, so he started to find him. So when he went to the village, Amir saw Hassan, and Hassan was in a very traumatic incident. A local bully, Asif, had beaten up and bullied Hassan in a very bad way. And at that time, Hassan just froze and ran away. After that, Amir had everything. He was his father threw a party. He was happy. His father was happy. Everything was going fine. But Amir was not happy. He had a guilt in himself for what he didn't do. After that, Hassan moved to a new different district. He didn't wanted to live there anymore. And just after that, after some weeks, Afghanistan was attacked by the Russians, the Taliban. Afghanistan was not a place as it was before. There were shootings, there was fighting. Not a single person. Every single person in this district was afraid to walk in the street freely. So Amir and his father decided to move from Afghanistan to America. So when they shifted to America, things were not as they were in Afghanistan. His father was not a rich person anymore. His father got a job in a gas station, and Amir got himself enrolled in a college for his graduation purpose. Everything was going fine. Amir was happy because he had his father by his side, but still there was a emptiness and guilt in himself for what he did to Hassan, because Hassan was a family to him. His presence in his life was very important to him, and after that incident, he never met Hassan, and it was very different from him. Years later, Amir got settled in America. He got a job. He was a famous author in America. He was settled. He got married. Everything was going fine. And one day he got call from Rashid Khan, the friend of his father, Baba. And Rashid Khan told him to come back to Afghanistan to change things for what he did years ago as he was a child. So there's a quote given by the author in this book that there is always a way to be good again. And after that, Amir went to Afghanistan and he did all possible things that he could do for Hassan and his family. So this was about the book. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Sanjana. Did you read the book completely?
Yes.
The whole? Have you read Thousand Splendid Suns?
No, but I have the book. I want to read it this summer.
Yeah, so I'll ask you some questions in this. One is you said the local bullies, na? Who are those local bullies? Does he mention about
Uh,
them?
Asif,
Yeah,
the boy
afterwards,
named Asif.
later, does he mention about them?
Yes, after when Amir came back to Afghanistan, Amir saved Hassan's kid. So Asif was there in Afghanistan. He was not a local bully now. He was a very, he was a kind of bad person in Afghanistan. He used to rule the district there.
And which family member does he help? Amir.
Amir, Rashid Khan.
Yeah, so which he comes back from America and he helps whom he helps.
He helps Rashid Khan and Hassan's. He took back the Hassan kid to America, and he took back his kid to America.
And why he felt that his father doesn't like him? That feeling, na? All the while he has that feeling, na? That his father
Because
doesn't like him.
yeah, because he was a very self-centered person. He liked books and everything. He was not a his father was a very powerful person. His father always wanted Amir to be like him, and Amir turned out to be a bit different. Because that's why the love and affection between Amir and his father was not good as that.
Okay. His others? Anyone wants to ask?
No, ma'am.
Yeah,
Riddhi?
no question.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
No question.
No, no, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, it's fine. Sanjana, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now Vikrant Tiwari.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, am I visible?
You are visible.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I'm Vikrant Tiwari from TY BAF, and the book which I'm going to share my review is Life's Amazing Secret by Gaur Gopal Das. Gaur Gopal Das ji do not need any introduction because he is well-known monk, well-followed monk, well-known for the way he shared his wisdom, and the book which he read is Life's Amazing Secret. First of all, I will like to share you one thing is that every book contains a message. But the thing which really attracted me about this, the book, the not only book contains a message, but the behind the story of writing the book, even that consists of message. And the title of the book says that Life's Amazing Secret: How to Have a Balance Between, how to have a purpose and balance in the life. And that is very important, that one person should have a purposeful life along with that well balanced manner. Gaur Gopal Das shared his overall experience in his book, and the four important things which he shared are the four important pillars of the life. It is basically as same as that a car have a four wheel, and it is important that every wheel to run a car, every wheel plays a very important role, same as life is. And it is even important that the car should have equal, the tire should have equal pressure. That is the same, we should have a purposeful attitude for our life. And the book is really suggest I really recommend this book to everyone to read, because the language of the book is very simple, and every chapter means the important pillars of the life start with an amazing quote that really attracts and that hook the people to read overall chapter in a one take. And that four important life are personal life, work life, relationship, and social contribution. And in every chapter he has shared a very important messages with examples, because we love to know everything with an very nice examples. The few examples which really attracted me, that in the chapter social contribution, he related two important things, that is candle and ice cream. Both the things melt, but both the purpose are different. Candle melts, and the candle melts and give us the lesson that you should before melting your life, you should give light to another's life. And the ice cream says that before melting you take the taste, means it shows that one shows the ideology of selflessness, and others show the ideology of selfishness. It is our perspective to take what we have to take. And the book says that everything has a positive and negative aspect, but today the things are becoming like that. Everyone attracts with the negative aspects, think very much about the negative aspect, but it is not like that. We should look to the life in all perspective, because the thing is, the subconscious mind is not aware of that. What is different between positive and negative? The thing which the way you will be thinking, the mind will be work on this. We should live in that manner in how we want the society, because the way you will live is the way you will see the overall life. And every chapter has a very fantastic quote. One quote written by Gaur Gopal Das really attracted me is, stop going through life, start growing through life. These few words have very deep message in life. I'm loving to share more quotes, but I will recommend you all to read, because every chapter has a message from various other successful person. Because it is not like that I'm sharing my experiences, it is my Gaur Gopal Das has shared others experience also, and even the quotes written by various great philosophers also. It is very nice to read many quotes in one book, and that really gives an important perspective for life. And every things like the social life, work life, relationship, and personal life is important to make a character. And regarding the character, he has said a very important thing is that one should live a life of sadachar. It is not like that one should live a life of a monk. We should leave all the things and live a life of monk. Sadachari means a person who will live a life into a very right conduct, with perfect discipline and with perfect integrity. It is like that how we should live the life. We should have a purposeful life with discipline and integrity in the life. I would like to recommend these books to all of you to read this. It is wonderful book with a wonderful language. This is self-help book, and really it helps you, especially because today the time is everyone is thinking for their life, and the things are like this. They are not getting a perfect lookout how to see towards the life, and this book really give me the proper way to live and proper way to think to the life, and to value to all the things. I have saw Gaur Gopal Das many videos on the YouTube, but this book really has means overall experience of his life he has
You
shared
have
in this.
one more minute. You have to wind up in that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
And this book was and the story behind this writing this book was, once he received a call from Penguin Random House, and Miss Mathur asked her to write a book, but at that time he said no, because he said, I'm not a person who write, I'm the person who can speak and who can explain. But after few years he received a call from his well-known friend from London. He is very connected to his, even he asked him to write a book. Then Gaur Gopal Das said that if everyone is asking to do you the thing, means the life is giving you the opportunity, you just have to grab the opportunity, and after grabbing that opportunity you think how to go through that. So I would like to recommend you all to read this book, and even to share the experience of reading with your friends, and even ask them to read the book. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Vikrant, thank you. Can you tell specifics? See, nowadays it's a time of YouTubes, and people listen to Gaur Gopal Das everywhere. In WhatsApp also it comes. So specifically, will you tell why do you recommend them to read the book? Why not just listen to whatever is going around in WhatsApp or YouTube, his videos? Why specifically book? Yeah.
Yes. The thing is, if sitting at one place, at one platform, if you're getting overall experience, because YouTube videos or the WhatsApp video which are getting, that are short videos, and that has an one perspective, means that message is for only one thing, means for discipline or for motivation. But this book has overall at a place we are getting from personal life to social life. So it is nice to get information at a one sitting from at a one place, rather than having a small information, because half information is dangerous.
And you said that he makes references to many other philosophers. Can you name some of them to whom he made references?
Ma'am, in work, the chapter that relates with work life, he has said about healthy competition. We should have a healthy competition, and he started that, and he shared quote by Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs. That the Steve Jobs said that you should not compete with other people, because in competition you will lose your creativity. So there are many quotes in every chapter start with a quote by well-known philosophers.
Yeah, okay. Anyone else wants to ask?
Yeah, Vikrant, how many times have you read this book? Because
Ma'am,
you know everything.
Ma'am, I have read this book twice, and I am planning to read one more time, but currently I'm not able to read because I'm currently reading Academy.
Yeah, what is the reason you want to read one more time?
Ma'am, the thing, every time when I read this book, I get some a new idea. Means what the time when I read, it is not like that. Just sitting when I suffer from something, when I lost something, when I'm really depressed by some points, because currently the things are going on which are not very sorted in life. So at that particular time I read, and I just take some specific topic like personal life or social contribution. So every time I get something new by reading this book.
Right. Nice. Okay.
Anyone? Other? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, Vikrant.
Hello,
So,
ma'am.
yeah, in this book, there is a concept of four wheels of car, right? So,
Yeah, ma'am.
how is it applicable in one's life?
Ma'am, the four wheel I said you as an example. It is not there in the book. The book is divided into four chapters. That is personal life, social life. I said that four wheel of car as an example.
Okay, so that is not mentioned in the book.
No, ma'am. I said that as an example because the car has four wheel, and every wheel is important, and every wheel should have have their pressure, the air pressure. So I related that with the book.
Okay, thank you, Vikrant.
Yeah, so thank you, Vikrant.
Thank
I
you, ma'am.
think now Sejal is remaining. Anyone else other than Sejal? Yeah.
Ma'am, can I start?
Yeah, start.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sejal Gagwani. Currently, I am in second year pursuing Bachelor of Banking and Insurance. And today, I am here to share a review on this book, 3000 Stitches, written by Sudha Murthy. Sudha Murthy needs no introduction. She is one of the well-known and most loved personalities of India. To put it in simple words, she is the chairperson of Infosys Foundation, a social worker, and an amazing writer. Coming on to the book, 3000 Stitches. This book is a collection of 11 short stories indicating memories, or rather, you can say, experiences of Sudha Murthy during various instances of her life. The first chapter of the book is 3000 Stitches, wherein she talks about the first project as a social worker. She talks about how she was able to help Devdasis, basically the sex worker community, to leave their rich profession and turn themselves into ladies living a dignified life. However, Sudha Murthy didn't knew that the path of helping these Devdasis was not at all going to be the bed of roses. Sudha Murthy was criticized when she first tried to approach these Devdasis. She even got hit by chappals and tomatoes. Later on, his father intervened and kind of modified her way of approach to these Devdasis. And then finally she was able to help 3000 Devdasis at first by providing scholarship to their children and as well as she sponsored funds so that these Devdasis can open their bank and work them and be independent women in in their life. So what happened was, the story goes like this. Like these Devdasis used the funds sponsored by Sudhamurti, and they opened a bank. They started running the bank themselves. Finally, what happened was these Devdasis left back their profession and found new things to do in life. On the occasion of third anniversary of their bank, these Devdasis thought of keeping an function wherein they invited Sudhamurti as a chief guest, and they gifted her a bedspread which had 3,000 stitches in it. Now what happened was this 3,000 stitches was stitched by the 3,000 Devdasis who were once Devdasis, and now they have been turned themselves into an independent women, all because of Sudhamurti. So this is how the book gets its name, 3,000 Stitches. Sudhamurti has described about this in her first chapter of the book, and then Sudha moves on to the other instances of her life. She explains about her travel all over the world. I mean to say, her travel abroad, and when one of the stories she tells us that how she was able to get free food just because she belonged from a land where Bollywood heroes and heroines used to live, because in abroad, people were more fascinated towards Bollywood. They were keen to watch Bollywood heroes and heroines. And Sudhamurti belonged from a country like India. So, no, just because of the craziness among the celebrities, they offered her free food and various discounts at many places. So this was all about one of the stories. The fun fact is that Sudhamurti has watched 365 movies in 365 days, and she is referred as Miss Cinema from her friends, just because she has completed 365 movies in 365 days. Though it was very difficult for her, but it was a challenge for her. She took up a challenge with a friend, and that is the reason she is now considered as the uh, Miss Cinema. The another story which grabs my attention is Cattle Class, wherein Sudhamurti describes a scene at an airport. She says that she was standing in a queue of business class flight, and there were two ladies ahead her who were very dressed properly, and they were wearing expensive ornaments, and they looked quite a high. They looked quite like uh, they looked really well. So basically, she wanted to say that they belong to a high class society. They just looked at Sudhamurti, and just because she was dressed in a simple sari, these two ladies made an assumption that she belongs to a cattle class. Basically, they meant that she is economically backward and couldn't afford a business class ticket, and asked her to join economic class queue. In spite of forcing Sudhamurti too much, Sudha somehow managed herself, and she didn't lose temper. And she firmly said to those two ladies that I won't stand in economic class queue. I will stand in business class queue itself. These two ladies were feeling very angry, but they end up thinking that airline staff will deal with her. Later on, when the boarding was done, these two ladies stood aside just to see just to see Sudha getting heard by the airline staff. But what happened was Sudha was allowed to go ahead because she had a business class ticket, no doubt. And then later on, Sudha asked these ladies that like, what made you feel that I can't afford an business class ticket, and what is the concept of cattle class? You can't judge anyone simply because of their appearance. Without waiting for their response, Sudhamurti moved on with her journey as she had many meetings scheduled. Yet another story which inspires me a lot is How to Beat the Boys. This is the second chapter of the book, wherein Sudha Murthy describes her challenges being the only girl student in her engineering college. During those days, engineering was considered uh, as a study which is meant only for boys and not for girls. Even the society didn't accepted the fact that a girl is pursuing engineering. It was very tough decision for Sudha Murthy, but it is not at all a cakewalk to go against the society and do something. But due to her father's support, she was able to complete her engineering, and look, she is the chairperson of Infosys today. The takeaway from this story is perseverance against all odds. If you are dedicated to do something, and you have the support of
I
your
think
family.
you have to wind up.
Okay, ma'am, no issues. So basically, what I wanted to say is the takeaway from this story is perseverance against all odds. This was all about what I wanted to highlight about this book. There are many more interesting stories which are written in a very beautiful, simple, and precise manner. I would love to give a rating of 5 and 5 to this book. I'm looking forward to read the next book, An Old Man and His God, written by Sudha Murthy. Lastly, I thank the library committee to organize this book review competition, which made me read this book. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Sejal. Have you read Sudha Murthy's other books?
Ma'am, actually, this was the first book and first book read by me of Sudha Murthy. I am thinking to read the another book, which is The Old Man and His God, which is once again written by Sudha Murthy.
So why will you recommend this book to your friends?
I
Or
would
this?
yes, ma'am. I would recommend this book to my friends because there are 11 short stories, and every story gives a different message, which is basically helpful for us. What happens is we can watch various videos and very inspirational motivational videos on YouTube, but there is a big difference between reading the book and listening to all these things. So as soon as you read the book, you start understanding the minor things which can impact our life. So there are many good messages, there are many good takeaway from the 11 stories, which will be indeed helpful for everyone. So
Even
I
if
would
Sudha
recommend.
Murthy was not the chairperson, also it would have been motivational. These stories.
Yes, ma'am, because she has done many things out of the way. I mean, she has not, she didn't stop herself because of the society. She was very firm in her decision. She had that dedication in herself. So that dedication inspires me a lot, and I'm pretty sure that even if others will read this book, they will get an inspiration too. So this is why I would recommend the book to others too.
Yeah. Anyone?
Gayatri ma'am?
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't want to ask a question.
Okay. Well, I'll say that I wanted to ask that all these stories are written from the point of view of Sudha Murthy, no? Like she's narrating them from her
Yes, ma'am.
experience.
Yes, ma'am. She is writing down her experiences of various instances in her life.
Correct. But at any point, did you disagree with those? Like, कोई भी story you felt like, यार, ये, I mean, I don't agree with what
Yes,
experience.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Surely, I found one thing that what happened was, as I narrated in the first chapter, that in the first chapter it is all about 3,000 stitches, wherein, like as I said, that it was all about the sex worker community. So in that, like before starting the actual story, they have given a short gist about how this Devdasi system existed. What happened was, this Devdasi system, basically, it was not at all a bad system in the initial days. Actually, it was Devdasis were considered as the devotees, female devotees of God, who used to sing and dance in front of the idols of God. uh, it was not at all, it didn't had any it didn't had negative meaning of it, but later on what happened was people started considering the word devdasi as the sex worker. They started considering this, and also there was one short story that it indicated that if a girl gets a hair infection, I mean to say, if there is any ringworm in her hair, so that indicates that she is destined to be a devdasi. This was the point where I felt that this is completely wrong. People have misunderstood this concept and take and have understood a different meaning of it, and now the meaning has been changed drastically. So this
Uh,
was I didn't like about the book. That's it. Everything was nice.
okay, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Sejul, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so in all the short stories, was there any similarities in the female characters?
Similarities in the female characters? No, ma'am. Actually, there were different stories relating to different people. There were different characters in different stories. So there were no such familiarities.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, Sejal. Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone? Yes, Sejal. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So, anybody else is there who is not presented?
Everyone is done, ma'am.
Oh, na. So that's what I'm seeing here in people. There are 13, but 4 of us are there, 9, and 9 are already presented. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the we'll declare the result later. It is very nice actually that at this time, na, where people, the maximum, I have seen people not reading at all, not at all inclined to read. So during this time of lockdown, na, people say, I'm bored, I'm bored. But if you have this reading, maximum thing they read is a WhatsApp going around. That's all they read. So you are gifted with this habit of reading. So it is whatever you have studied and everything you will forget, your commas or whatever courses you have done, sans. But the reading habit will always remain with you. And today it is not only that you have read, you have reviewed the book, which is actually very difficult. Like without preparation, I'm teaching for so many years now, like nearly 3 decades. But without preparation, it is very difficult. We always prepare, even if it is a small talk. And you people have done very good job, and you have read good books. Most of you at this age, you have read books on spirituality, philosophy, and all, which even now I find it difficult to read. So mostly, and being in India, na, see, India is always we encouraged. We have a culture of stories where they were. You all know we have a culture of our stories are just for the, it's not, and it's nothing to do with religion. It is only to do with the stories, na. So being in India, if you are not in a habit of reading, it is really a very sad thing. So you are much above all the others because you have chosen to review a book, to think about it, to read it again and again, because you cannot review a book just by reading once, and to think that which lines impressed you more and what is the takeaway of this book, how will you recommend it to your friends. And see, we need not agree, we need not like some book, but still it's not that we like a book and because of that we give a prize. It is how you reviewed it that is more important. I think we'll declare the result shortly. I'll request Gayatri ma'am and others to talk.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was quite impressed that, uh, at this age where everything is technology related and e-book and e-copies. Of course, I don't know, maybe some of you have read it through ebook, but it's a good thing that cultivating this reading habit. I think yes, there was some. I think Kaipoche, the movie, and yeah, my view on that is yes, of course. Many of these books that we read can be there as movies, but I have always found reading the book prior to watching the movie more enriching and interesting because it actually opens up the imagination. So I'm glad that you all have this, and I would urge you all to think about with so much of screen time and everything that we talk about, digital detox that we talk about. Picking up a book and reading is something that also strengthens the brain. So I would urge you all to think about how you can, pass on the message to people whom you are connected with. In terms of cultivating this habit of reading, we need to get back to this. Maybe I'm an old timer, so I'm talking about it like this, but I do appreciate and acknowledge that. Yes, very good attempt. All of you, you have read the book, and you have picked up, you have allowed the book to touch you, and you have been able to give what you have received from that. So I think that's good. So it's the first step in higher thinking. Yeah.
Is Riddhi?
All the best.
Yeah, no, I don't want to add anything. Just congratulations to all of you for participating.
Yes, Shilpa.
Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, so students, please keep it up, and you all did very well. And just keep reading, okay? It's something that will always uplift your mood. Okay, so good luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, Meghna ma'am couldn't join because of unavoidable circumstances. She will declare the result. So all the best. Keep reading. Okay. So yeah, we can. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So bye. All
I
the best.
request teachers to just wait for 2-3 minutes. Let the students
Okay.
leave.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Yeah. So students, yes, Abhishek.
Ma'am, I just want to add one thing.
One second. Sorry. Nobody has left. I want to have a photo of all of you together. Can you come on video? Yeah. Nobody has left, na? No one has. Please all of you come on video. Shilpa, Riddhi. I'll just take a.
I can't come on video. I'm sorry.
Just give me. I think still some are not there. Who is this? Is Ismita, Shilpa, Kirti, Naushin, Ismita, Gayatri?
I can't come on video. I'm sorry.
You also can keep taking the photo and send us. Okay, so bye. See you. All the best.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I just want to say, for 2 minutes, I had a thing in my mind to say.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I just want to thank the library committee because you had conducted such a good competition which motivated us to read, because I was never an avid reader. So just by seeing the competition, I thought of completing the book and giving the review on it. If you would have not arranged that competition, that sense of completing that book and reading it twice and thrice wouldn't have come. So thank you, ma'am.
We'll tell Meghna ma'am it is all her effort. Okay.
Ma'am, thank you so much for conducting all such competitions and motivating us to read.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, students can leave now. We teachers will have to discuss for 2-3 minutes. Okay. Students can leave.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.